Did you know that on average, for a secondary school child, the government pays the school about £6,000 a year, and for a child in primary school, the government pays about £4,800 a year. If there's anything about the school you're not happy with in relation to the care and the quality of the education that your child's receiving, you have every right to complain. And your complaint has power, because if in any event you decide to remove your child from that school, then that school will lose that funding which comes from central government based on the number of kids attending that school. You are a client as a parent, and your child's enrolled into a UK state school or any state school around the world. Understand, you are as valuable to that school client is to any business. So, no different to the standard you expect from a 5-star hotel. If there's anything about the room or the food or the service you're getting from the hotel, you would complain, right? If there's anything that you're not happy with in relation to how the school's treating your children or the quality of the education you're getting from that school, you have every right to complain. And I urge parents to do just that. Trust me, nowadays, schools can't afford to have parents removing their kids from the school, because for every child that's removed from the school, they lose that funding. As I said, for secondary school kids, it's about £6,000 a year, and for a primary school child, it's about £4,800 a year. Imagine the head teacher is going to have his neck on the block. The school governors are not going to be happy if parents are complaining about the quality of education and threatening to remove their kids from the school. It's unsustainable. The school is no different to any other business. It needs customers, and the customers are the parents, because the parents decide which school the child goes to. So remember, if there's anything you're unhappy with, don't be shy. Be assertive. Remember, you are a client, a paying client. With your child comes money. With your child comes funding. If there's anything you're unhappy with, you have every right to complain. And I urge parents to complain. Don't feel shy. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel disempowered. You have every right. You're like a paying client, because remember, that school is receiving money from the government for your child attending that school. So if there's anything that you're not happy with, you have every right to complain. Don't let them tell you. You are the client. You're the one who's in charge. You tell them. They have to make the time if they're too busy. Don't tolerate it. Even down to that receptionist. Some receptionists are great. Some school secretaries are wonderful, very compassionate and very caring. Otherwise, some of them are very uppity in themselves, thinking that they know what's what, and they would talk down to parents based on how they see them. Yeah, don't tolerate any of that. You can make a complaint and have that woman removed or that person removed if they treat you in any kind of funny way. Don't take any shoddy service. Don't let them talk down to you. You're the client. Your child is paying their wages. Remember that. Your child is paying for the salaries, the lights, the maintenance. It's paying for everything. The funding that the school gets from having your child there is crucial to that school. They cannot afford to have a funding gap or a deficit, because that means potentially wages are not going to be paid on time. Understand that. So you have the power. Don't be shy. Don't feel you don't have any right. You have every voice. No different to when you go into a restaurant and the food that they're bringing to your table is not good enough. You can send it back to the kitchen. Don't be put off by the way they're talking to you. Don't let anybody talk down to you. Don't let the woman at reception talk down to you, because at the end of the day, you're the client and your child is paying her wages, contributing to her pension. Understand that. You have power. Parents, you have power. Stand up and have your voice heard. Don't be intimidated by any nonsense. If it doesn't look right, it doesn't feel right, and you don't like the way they're speaking to you, and your child is not happy for whatever reason, you have every right to demand a meeting with the head of year, the form tutor. You have every right to challenge it, and I encourage you to do so. Because trust me, as soon as you start talking about removing your child from the school, that's when the school will move heaven and earth to make sure you're happy. Because understand that money talks. Don't ever let a school talk down to you. Don't ever let them try to sidetrack you. Don't ever let them try to dictate how things work. As soon as you show them you know the value of your child, as soon as you start talking about removing your child from the school, that's when you see them change. That's when you'll see the switch. A lot of you don't know. A lot of you aren't aware of the power you have as a parent. Because as soon as you start talking about removing your child from that school, you'll see, that's when you'll see where the power lies.